Hello, I'm TychoCelchuuu. This is a Men of War Assault Squad video, and that's pretty much it. I would say sorry for taking so long, blah blah blah, to make this video, but you don't need to hear that. You do need to hear I have a nice fancy new computer, an i3-2120 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, still my old 8800 GTX card, but it makes playing Assault Squad quite a bit easier. It makes recording these matches quite a bit easier, so I'm happy. Maybe someday I'll buy a new 3D card, but today is not that day. This is just a quick 2v2, me and some random dude on the internet versus two other random dudes on the internet, and I can't remember the name of this map, but I'm sure you recognize it if you have played much Men of War 2v2s. And I start off buying an Assault Squad rather than a Rifleman Squad, whatever it's called. A Rifleman Squad would probably be better in this position, sort of starting off the match, because these are really long engagement ranges, and Rifleman Squads come with more Riflemen, which are good at long ranges, and importantly they come with a machine gunner. Very crucial at long ranges, but an Assault Squad is cheaper, and I am nothing if not extremely cheap. So my ally, interestingly, rushes the middle and the right, which means he's helping me out because I'm on the right. I also rush the middle and the right. Real fast, we have some brutal fights. That's what I love about Assault Squad. The infantry fights are really brutal, not a lot of screwing around and firing rubber bullets at each other. People die really fast when these bullets start going, and we're tossing grenades, you see. I sort of tried to get out of the middle fairly fast because it was a hellhole, and so two people survived, and so I'm just trying to support my ally. Meanwhile, I'm just really ducked behind my sandbags here, and my ally's ducked behind my sandbags, so it's nice that I set those up for him. And but you see we're sort of losing this fight with the opponents, and that's because they've set up their own sandbags and they have a machine gun. So at this point I really just want to tell my people to get prone and stay behind, and then I'm just going to try and get everybody prone and just cap this point, because I figure I'll assault on my own time, but I'm hoping I'm out of range and I'm not going to get nailed by him too badly if he can't see me. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, so already it looks like we have kind of the initiative in the middle. That's going pretty well. On the right I did screw up a bit, let them get the drop on me with their machine gunner and stuff when I just had an assault squad, but I did get my sandbags up, so that's helping me a bit. So hopefully I'll be able to take my point on the right and our points will start ticking up. Here we have a machine gun nest, a heavy machine gun nest set up, and these were recently nerfed. The patch came out yesterday or the day before or something at the time of recording this, so by the time I get on YouTube, God knows when it'll be up, because I live in San Diego now and my upload speed's really not so fast. First I'm going to find out what I'm paying monthly for internet, because my roommate had it set up before I moved in, and then if it's anything, any amount of money at all, I'm maybe going to call them, because sometimes they'll bump up your upload speeds. But anyways, they recently nerfed heavy machine guns. I'm not sure if the PKP heavy machine gun was nerfed, but it doesn't matter because I'm blowing it up with my tiny little Pack 41, which we'll talk about in a sec. But certainly the heavy machine gun my ally was using on the left got nerfed, because apparently it was a big strategy for a lot of people just to buy these things and spam them. They'd set them up, drop some sandbags down, and then just own everybody with heavy machine guns. And so they also nerfed the sandbags, in fact. HE shells now destroy sandbags somewhat easier. But still, nothing to sneeze at, these heavy machine guns, so don't think they're useless, and my ally is using it to great effect as he comes in and crushes this wall so that his heavy machine gun can shoot. Unfortunately, that also opens things up a bit, and my men are getting picked off one by one, but not before they can get into this built-up area. This is a fun flag to capture because there's so many walls and stuff. You can just hide behind things and capture it, which is kind of what I'm trying. But they have this machine gun up in that house, if you see in the very top. Maybe not even a machine gun, maybe it's a machine gun guy, but he's really hurting, so while my ally dukes it out with his T-26. But let's talk about my tiny little AT gun, which is now a nice time, I guess, because I'm over here. My tiny little AT gun managed to clear out most of the opposition. What's blowing up? I guess that was my tiny AT gun shooting. I really enjoy these little field guns for the early engagements. Actually, quick digression. See, I'm going over here to pick up this DP-27 I saw lying on the ground. I'm not sure how a Russian machine gun made it all the way over there, but it's really worth picking those up because they'll do serious damage, unless I get owned by my own machine gun. But yeah, I really like these little field guns at the beginning. They're great because really the big thing is that they have massive range. Or not massive range, obviously. Their range is not so fantastic, but they have much better range than pretty much anything you're going to be fighting in the early game. Certainly better range than the heavy machine guns and machine guns they put out. It's not way better, but it's more range, right? And so the idea is you can safely attack these machine guns from far off in the distance. And look at this big group of Marines running. I'm just tossing a grenade and hoping to catch all these guys, and they dive away from it, and kaboom. Another good thing about Assault Squad is that they slightly nerfed grenades, and so now, previously in Men of War, that probably would have brought all those guys down to at least half health, maybe killed a lot of them. This time they just sort of dove away from it and they were fine. I should have cooked it before I threw it, but I was afraid my guy was going to get killed, because I'm not sure if that little guy who's still up in that house firing at me was going to be able to fire over the wall, but you see some crazy stuff going on over there. My Molotov cocktail unfortunately does not catch any of them. But anyways, I like these little tiny light AT guns because, number one, they have better range than pretty much anything you're going to be firing at. So you saw in the very beginning, I managed to pick off his heavy machine gun. And oops, he's got a medium ZIS-3, which knocked out my AT gun. Second, they have, obviously, fairly substantial power. They're these light field guns. They're not going to knock out a Panther tank or something, but they do pretty big explosions. Okay, watch this. I pull out my AT grenade, right? So, because I want to kill this. He's not quite close enough, but then I'm like, well, fine, whatever, I guess you're not close enough. I can't really see, so I click away, stop direct controlling, and my idiot guy, he's like, oh, I know what to do with this grenade. I'll throw it at this wall, and then I can kill the guy behind the wall. So yes, very smart little AI-controlled man, but unfortunately I didn't want you to do that because I was saving that AT grenade. So the lesson here is if you swap to a weapon, then when you swap away from direct control, the AI is going to think you want them to use that weapon. They're going to use it to your detriment, or perhaps to your happiness. One of my friends is messaging me, did you send a postcard? I will send a postcard tomorrow. That's a long story. So another reason I like the AT guns early in the game is because they can knock out these sandbags, especially now that they've nerfed the sandbags. This is dangerous, by the way, buying this little light tank when he's got this ZIS-3 AT gun. The idea is just to catch him by surprise. Since the engagement ranges are fairly close and it's wide open here, I figure I can get a couple shots off, and that's exactly what I do. And now I'm going to take this opportunity to also take out this machine gun nest that he set up, because he did not get the memo that they have nerfed machine gun nests. But yeah, so the other reason I like the little light AT field guns is because they blow out the sandbags pretty fast, and so you wipe out a lot of the big advantages that people get early on in the infantry fight is by building these sandbags, so you wipe them out and you're good. And another reason is obviously splash damage, because that's good for taking out infantry. And yeah, now you see me killing people. Am I making noises in the microphone like... No, I don't think I am. Sounds like I am. I don't have my little fuzzy thing on the end of the microphone. I think that's supposed to make it stop from harsh. I don't know what it does. Let's see, what's going on? Nothing much special. We are losing at this point. If you look in the upper right, they have 13 points to our 5, and I don't know how he initiated self-destruct on that light AT gun, or heavy machine gun, but I don't think it worked because my guys are using it perfectly well. I have to reposition it, but so yeah, gotta get my tank out there because this AT gun set up. But thankfully, having stolen this machine gun, which he put really far forward, I'm going to hopefully get it, and I figure I'll open up a thing in the middle too, so I can assault it more easily. It might have been a mistake for the opponent to move that heavy machine gun up so close. Here you see me charging in to try and get the AT gun, but I just get nailed by this Jeep. It might be a mistake, him putting this machine gun so close. But on the other hand, we have really close engagement ranges on this map. Like, we spawn kind of right near each other and it's all wide open. So, you know, he's sort of, it's a cost benefit. You know when you spawn that close. I see this Marine coming and I'm like, oh no. So that was really bad. I shouldn't have been. You gotta be careful in built-up urban areas like this, because it just lets people close in on your tanks, and then when they close in on their tanks, then they kill you. So that's not good. So yeah, he made a calculated gamble. He's like, look, I'm gonna set this machine gun up close. Eventually, my opponent's gonna spawn something that's just gonna kill the machine gun almost instantly, because I won't have time to react, or it'll be too far, or it'll be a vehicle or something. But you know, until then, I'm gonna kill people. And speaking of killing people, I just lost like a whole squad to some machine gun because I wasn't looking in the middle. So that's really bad. But yeah, he made a calculated judgment. He's like, look, I want the position that this machine gun's gonna get me, so I'm gonna move up, and maybe I'll lose it, maybe I won't, and that's that. And so then he lost it, and now he's shelling it. And luckily, it's close enough to my side that I can just take it again, but it's probably gonna get blown up by this AT gun. It's funny, these things can change hands quite a bit, and now I really have to stop him from getting there, and more important, I want to kill all these people, so I'm like, get in there, but it's like right out of the arc of fire, and then of course I get shot by the ZIS-2. Anyways, so, yeah, some really close-in infantry fighting. Maybe close in isn't the right word, but big back and forth. And, you know, everything I say goes both ways. He's right now using my sandbags to sort of assault me, so, you know, I didn't set them too far forward, but they're certainly more far forward than they sort of have to be, and, you know, now he's using them. And meanwhile, my ally on the left still has not taken his point, and we've lost the middle for quite a while. You saw when I tried to take it back, all my men died off screen, so that was really unfortunate. They didn't even get a speaking role in this movie, but that's okay because they'll go on to star in much bigger, better things. They won't. They're dead. Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of this map. I like everything about it except how close the fighting is. Time and time again, it just, if your opponent's winning, then you're just going to spawn stuff and shoot at them almost immediately when you spawn, and if you're winning, they're just going to spawn stuff and shoot immediately. If this map was much longer, long and skinny, so that like where my men are right now, way behind them was where you spawned, I think that would be better. Something like that. Certainly it'd add more tedium getting to the fight and stuff, but it would allow these fights to be a lot more organic, a lot more composed than they are right now, which is almost like I'm going to respawn and blow you up, and then you're going to respawn and blow me up, and blah blah blah, back and forth. It's not quite as realistic and not quite as interesting. It's more of a, I'm just going to purchase a counter to whatever is closest to my spawn zone and then see what I can do from there. And speaking of it's a tank! So that wasn't good. I got shot. That was actually the ZIS-2 that shot me. And I don't know where the ZIS-2 is, but now I have a tank coming in, and really, there's not a lot of cover. Even these craters are not being a lot of help. I'm just getting mowed down. So again, like I said, just the whole I'm going to spawn something to take on whatever you have in my spawn area. I get a Hetzer, and the Hetzer does not have much trouble punching through the T-3476. The sloping front armor is a bit of an issue, but the Hetzer's got a nice little gun, and a nice little gun on top too, remote controlled. Don't know how the Germans worked that one out, and they couldn't reload it from inside, but still, there you go. And finally I buy a rifleman squad, so you see I have a little machine gunner MG42 guy. That's going to be helpful. But now his ZIS-2 is doing some damage to my Hetzer, which is not good. Managed to kill one of the guys inside, so now it really sucks to be in that Hetzer. It smells extremely bad. I'm not sure if it smells bad. You know, if someone dies, I guess they take a while to start smelling bad. Anyways, you don't want to be in a Hetzer with a dead dude. Trust me on this. I know from lots of experience. I don't. But some people might. I guess I wasn't a real Hetzer. I saw this video, World of Tanks, you know that MMO, but it's not an MMO, it just looks like an MMO. They say it's an MMO, but it's a bunch of instants. Anyways, World of Tanks is this tank game, and they went to E3 and they brought like a Hetzer or something, but I'm not sure if it was a real Hetzer or not. There's a video on the internet, game trailers. Look it up. So you can go inside a Hetzer, if you are the World of Tanks people. Maybe they rented it. Maybe there's a Nazi rental party somewhere. Ach, we are the rental party for the Third Reich. We have everything you need if you want to kill the Jews, but we do not have very much else. They probably don't exist. Probably not in LA either. That'd be a bad place for them. That's where E3 is, LA. So yeah, we're not doing so hot, and now my Hetzer's dead. And oh, I should have mentioned like 20 minutes ago, actually 13 minutes 37 seconds ago, that I'm extremely rusty at Assault Squad. If you haven't noticed by now, as you're watching all my men like get owned, and this guy says, "Oh my God, Luck, I don't know what he's talking about. I think he probably lost a tank or something." As you're watching all my men get completely cut down by these machine guns, and my heads get killed, and blah blah blah. There's carnage everywhere. Yes, I am rusty at a men of war, and it will likely be many years, perhaps decades, until I am not rusty at men of war. I don't know, Rusty's interesting, because all that means is that it's been sitting a while unused. It doesn't necessarily imply you're bad. Like, riding a bike, rusty doesn't mean bad, because you never forget how to ride a bike, right? Except you do. I forgot how to ride a bike. It happened. I rode bikes, and then I stopped riding bikes, and then I tried when I was 13, I couldn't. Now I still don't know how. But it can happen. So anyways, finally things are looking slightly up for us. I have one little man in the middle, and that's all it takes, but he's not going to last very long, because this Soviet thing is going to punch through the thing he's hiding behind, and he's dead anyways, because there's a guy with a rifle. So now things are looking down again. That was fast, and I don't know why I bought a Panzer III. I guess I'm going to assault the middle, because the right's looking tolerable right now, and you know, it's always better to have a tank than not have a tank, but I should be worried. Oh yay, my ally's Verbelvin managed to kill the ZSU. Because it's got a very strong gun, but it's gonna get owned by this T-34, and there you see. I like this crew injured thing. Basically, whenever you hit a tank with a shell or something, there's a chance you'll injure the crew inside. It's not going to do much except sort of, it's a replacement for crew contused, which everybody read as crew confused, and so frankly it's good that they changed to injured. Is a much better word. They just have to get their crap together, because if you've ever been inside a tank when it gets hit by a shell, even if it doesn't kill anything, you know it's not a lot of fun. And again, I am saying this not out of experience, but because I make things up all the time. And the only bright spot to this T-34 knocking me out is that he drove close enough to get hit by a couple AT grenades, which did not kill it. And now these guys are out of grenades. So otherwise that T-34 would have been destroyed, and again, that's one of the dangers of moving in so close to your enemy. They can get very close and kill you. But yeah, this map just needs to be longer, I think. That'd be nice. One of those mods for the original Men of War, I think the German Soldiers mod, which actually Assault Squad copied a fair amount. I'm not sure if they copied it on purpose or if they just had the same ideas, but GSM, as it's called, had sort of similar squads to Assault Squad, and sort of faster infantry combat, more longer range, stuff like that. My ally just lost a sniper, by the way, if you were watching. That's not good. But one of the things GSM had is these massive maps, and frankly I think they took it too far. They were going for sort of realism, and so they made these maps really, really big, and it was kind of interesting to check them out. Still, I think they went overboard, but bigger is to some degree better. These things feel too tight and close in. On a map like Tram Rail Yard, or whatever that tram map is, it's not quite as bad because it's so urban. On this one, you have these wide open spaces, especially here on the right side. It really starts to show that it's kind of too short and close in. And I don't know, this is related to the map being short. I would say it might not be a great idea to have these two capture points, these two flag points, basically within firing distance of each other. It's an interesting dynamic, but on a map like this where there's only 5 points, when 2 of them are basically across an open field and an easy contestation, and frankly right outside the spawn area. Like, look, I just spawned these tank crewmen, and they just have to walk for like 2 seconds to get to this AT gun, and then get themselves... Oh, that's painful. Thank you, Allied Panzer IV, but if you could have done that 2 seconds earlier, my AT gun might have lived. But yeah, it's when the only 2 points on the right that you're fighting over are within firing distance of each other, it's kind of a weird dynamic. And there goes my Panzer III. Why am I buying these things? They don't have any armor. It's not like I'm saving money because they just die immediately. God, Tycho, you're an idiot. But yeah, whereas you look on the left, my ally's capture point and my opponent's capture point, not quite within firing distance of each other. They're a bit farther? No, maybe they're almost equidistant, but it's certainly more built up over there, so I think you get better fights there, or at least you would if my ally were not getting pushed back completely and destroyed. So he's either rusty or bad. Who knows? Desperately trying to repair. Yeah, this is one of the things. Repairing vehicles really not too plausible when the maps are sort of this small and the fighting is this close in. Like that T-34 there on the left. That's not going to get repaired, pretty much. I sincerely doubt it. So when you knock things out, you're knocking it out for good. I'm not saying that's better or worse, but that Su-85 is dead, so I'm happy about that. I'm not happy about this Stu 42 killing 2 of my people. Bad Stu. You're fired. So if you look in the upper right, they're almost at 80 out of 100, so it's not looking so fantastic for us. But wait, don't change the channel yet, because we might pull something out of our collective asses. Collective ass. If it's collective, it's one ass, probably. Well, his Stu's doing fairly well, and I'm still holding on to the right, largely because he's not attacking with everything he's got, but also because I'm holding on to the right. And look, it's an evil river. And now you people won't be able to yell at me about not using my hero points, because I am notorious for not spending all of my stuff, my hero points and my normal points. But so I'm really trying to keep that in mind as I play Assault Squad now. As I sort of get back into it, I'm really trying to spend like it's going out of style. And thankfully, actually knocking the tread off this KV-86, I'm unfortunately not able to take it out. KV-85, excuse me, I'm not sure if there's a KV-86 or not, but whatever it is, it's not what I just knocked the tread off. So, again, short engagement ranges, that guy's sort of sitting there, and fantastic shot by the Panzer IV. Must have hit the ammo magazine on that thing, because boom! If you did not celebrate the 4th of July, then have I got a replacement for you. That tank is dead. So just put this in this YouTube video in your favorites list, and next 4th of July, just play it. You might want to add a reminder on your calendar to play the TychoCelchuuu, Men of War, blah blah blah. Hey, this guy's name is Christoph Wolf. That doesn't mean anything. Jan Shapiro? Is that a German name? Jan Shapiro? Really? One of my soldiers is named Jan Shapiro. Maybe it's Jan. It's probably Jan. He's German. Ugh. I am Jan. Duh. Yeah, so the pattern here is me losing a lot of men to machine guns, and that's really what happens if you run straight at them. Watch in future videos as I develop tactics other than running straight into machine guns. Thrill as I barrage with artillery before walking in. Things like this and more you can look forward to, but as for now, you're gonna just have to wonder about what is going on with me. So we're at 5, they're at 86. Is that my Nebelwerfer? Yeah, no, that's my ally's Nebelwerfer. He saw how awesome mine was, and he's like, let's do this. And we're actually making a fairly good push. It turns out buying rocket barrage artillery can make a bit of a difference. Indirect fire is pretty nice, and if you know me, you know I love the mortar like some people love children, or cats that are children. But this is not a great place for the mortar. If I was assaulting the middle more, maybe it would be good for a mortar, but this is just so massively wide open, I would have serious trouble getting the mortar to do any work for me without dying. And here's what I really don't like. When you're attacking AT guns, if you right-click on the AT gun itself instead of the crew, your men are like, I know what to do. I will pull out the anti-AT gun grenade. And then I will throw the grenade at the gun, and it will explode. And that's very good, right? Kaboom! Explosion. Everybody's happy. Dead people everywhere. Look at that guy. He got thrown backwards by the bullet. Exciting. But often that's not what you want. Often you just want them to shoot the people dragging the AT gun, and then get behind the AT gun and turn it on its former masters, and liberate it from a life of servitude, so it can finally serve a good fight. But yeah, that's not what they do. You have to be very careful and only click on the people for them to attack the people, otherwise they're like, I know what to do, and they blow up the AT gun. So that's irritating. I'm not sure if there's a fix for that. I mean, you know, if this was the perfect game, they would fix it, right? Like when you sort of hover over an AT gun, it would sort of give you a little icon with the people, and you can right-click on that, or something like that. So yes, obviously there are fixes, but frankly, it's quite a bit of work to work that out, and it's probably a lot easier for Digital Mindsoft to just be like, yeah, click on the people, kill the people, click on the gun, kill the gun, I'm gonna go get lunch, who's hungry? I'm eating bacon for lunch. Not good for you, but delicious. I'm actually not a huge bacon fan. Not a bacon fan at all, not a fat fan. Don't really like fatty foods. But fat's good for you. I'm just kidding, it's probably not. Fruits and vegetables are good for you. There's not a lot of fat in fruits and vegetables. Maybe an avocado. I think avocado is fat. Are you bored yet? I'm not. I'm watching things. It's nice that this Nebelwerfer has left me so many craters, because, also that my opponent has left me sandbags, because that lets me sort of move up, and, look, I caught a heavy machine gun undeployed. Quick, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, what are you guys doing? Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, shoot the thing, shoot the thing, what do you, yeah, we're all dead. Yes, still a little glitchiness, in the AI. Again, if this was perfect, they'd fix it, but AI is notorious, and even as I crawl into craters, things look bad, so I'm just gonna have to nail it with my AT gun, which is thankfully far enough away that I don't have to worry about it, right? Right? Either way, it's in a crater. I think I have my finger hovering over this sandbag button, because I was worried he would actually be able to hit me, but he's not. So, we're pushing back, actually. We're at 21 points, they're at 86. And I'm sort of in the opponent's grill. My ally is not pushing forward, but I guess he has more important things to do. And then they spend some of their hero points, and this is, I don't know what it's called, but it's a thing, and it comes with 2 tanks, and it comes with people on the sides of the tanks, and now they're going to come forward with people on the tanks, and the people on the sides of the tanks, and they're going to shoot me. my AT gun managed to kill 2 of the soldiers riding the tanks, but then it got decrewed, so I'm really hoping this AT gun punches through those 2 T-34s, and of course it gets blown up. So those are really good T-34s, in fact, T-34-86s, and I don't know why I have so many goddamn tank crewmen, but they better make themselves useful and start repairing things before I get crazy and start executing them. But I don't know if I'm going to quite be able to capture this flag before he moves in with his massive tanks and destroys me. Although we still have the majority of the points. Oh look, it's at 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Alright! And I'm telling him to get out his AT grenade in case my opponent makes the very bad decision of driving close enough for me to hit him with an AT grenade. So, at this point things aren't looking so bad for us, except for those 2 massive tanks that I have no way of damaging. We're doing pretty well, and hey, my ally hasn't even captured his point on the left. Those are my infantry on there if you look on the minimap, the little blue dots with the lazy bomb. Is he out of points? Yeah, it's because he's buying Panzer IVs and I'm buying Panzer IIIs, so when we lose all our tanks, he ends up poor, and I end up slightly less poor. There you go. See, being thrifty is a good idea sometimes. But not always. Usually not. Usually not. That's one of my instincts I gotta get rid of. Am I gonna bombard these things? I don't know. It's a bad idea. Pretty much you're not gonna knock out a tank with a rocket from the top unless it's a really good rocket or a really bad tank. Both of which can be the case with Japanese. They make some really nice rockets, and they don't make some really nice tanks, the Japanese. You know, you ever seen Japanese like buildings with sort of the paper walls and stuff? Same thing with their tanks. Really, really not, I wouldn't have recommended it, but that's what they go for, so not so great tanks. But if you hit a Japanese tank with a giant, massive Japanese rocket, you might do some damage. But this time I know there are a lot of infantry sort of behind that wall, and we're taking some damage from this tank, so I decided to bombard it. Thankfully, 1 rocket does hit the infantry. Nothing hits the tank, but even if it did hit the tank, the most likely outcome is either nothing or I detread it. And when it's that far behind enemy lines, detreading it not going to make a big deal, and my ally just lost a sniper, so that's what he's spending all his money on, tanks and snipers, so don't get him killed. I don't like snipers very much on a map like this, it's so close in. On much bigger maps, snipers can be a godsend, they can be really great, but yeah, on this thing, can't really recommend a sniper, and now they're pushing back, and we're probably gonna lose. I know how this ends, do you? You could if you fast forward on YouTube, but YouTube's not so great about fast forwarding. You should just watch. My opponent, or no, my ally, firing Nebelwerfer, killing some people. That's great. Isn't that great? I think that's great. Just fantastic. And look at this, pretty much everything is knocked down on the left. Whew. That's unfortunate. What was this, some sort of industrial area? Not anymore. And boom! Oh, adding insult to injury, they're taking out the wall and killing my men. And look, Panzer Grenadiers are dying. So those are some elite infantry that my ally bought that really aren't going to do much for him because now they're dead. And my Nebelwerfer is here. I'm worried about it dying. I'm looking over to the left to see if I can sort of take out some of this infantry, but it looks like not very many people to take out. So I did send an assault squad or something over to the left because I'm trying to take that back. Sort of, you know, we have 37 points, not too shabby compared to their 87, but you know, it's going to be tough going, especially because I'm fighting guards, a rifle. I don't know what those are, but I think they're impressive. And unfortunately, I noticed a little too late these Marines dismounting from their half-track, but I do get a rocket barrage in on it and kill most of them. So those are some special units that the Soviets can buy, and if you can kill them because they're very good fighters, especially at long range. They got semi-automatic rifles. And look, he's tired of my Nebelwerfer. He's going for it. He's going for it with his car. Shoot the guys on the car. Oh my god, oh my god. Get rid of him! Kill him! And so we managed to kill everybody except the driver. He does kill one of the guys on the Nebelwerfer. So, thankfully I tell him to get out of the Nebelwerfer, and just at the last minute I cap the guy, but of course now there's a tank here too. Tankette is the proper name, and it just unceremoniously drives straight over my Nebelwerfer, and this is what I'm saying about the very small map. I just spawn it, and it's right there, and I blow him up. The explosion takes out two of my tank crew. Exciting, but yeah, very small map, and they're gonna win. So, at one point I even thought I can win this. Well, it's touching that you said I instead of we, and it's also touching that I did most of the work on your side, it seemed like, but, yeah, you know, we didn't do too awful, especially considering I'm super rusty, so... there's my Panzer Grenadiers, and much do, and I guess my ally lost a tank to a very lucky ZIS cannon. That happens. And now, as this video ends, you can watch my poor little Panzer Grenadiers with their poor little Panzerfausts trying to take out was $234.85. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you liked it, certainly feel free to PayPal me all the money in your bank account, or just some of the money. I'm really not that picky. I'm kind of picky. It's gotta be actual money. Can't be negative money. Don't PayPal me negative money, because then I'm in trouble. I'll have to pay PayPal, and PayPal will have to pay you. It's a really bad deal for everyone involved, except for you. What am I talking about? Puma, the end.